What's going on, guys? It's the Filthy Casual, back with another Diablo 3 video. We've had 3 weekends of Season 17, so I thought it might be interesting, maybe a bit of fun, to have a look at the actual top 10 best builds this season when ranked by their clears. Now, this obviously has been heavily inspired by Riker and by Bloodshed, who've both done great tier lists this season. I love those videos. They really help me out as a casual player, helping me decide where I'm going to put my time, what build I'm going to play. Now, this list is going to be slightly different because it will be based on actual clears, so there is a slight advantage. It's not based on speculation. If the clear is done, then the clear is done. So in some respects, we get a clearer indication of which builds are performing well. However, there is also a disadvantage in doing it this way, which is that builds can get buried. So if a player has cleared GR 120 with build X, if they clear GR 119 with build Y, well, the leaderboards won't show up build Y at all, and it will just get buried. Bit more on that later, but still, I think it's a worthwhile exercise, and I think it's going to be interesting. So it's kind of like the top 10 builds when you consider each player's highest clear on the leaderboard. Now, we're going to cover both core and hardcore, so check the timestamp on screen and in the description if you want to jump straight to the hardcore bit. There will also be a build link to each and every build in this video, so it will be a link to a YouTuber. So it's either Riker, Bloodshed or Big Daddy Den who've covered these builds in depth with really good videos. I haven't covered these builds myself. I've pretty much done some off-meta necro stuff so far. So maybe one day I'll be linking you to my own videos, but for now I'll leave you with those very capable and brilliant content creators. And I just want to make this video as easy as possible for you to use. Now, before we jump in, I'm going to set a like goal of 10 likes for today's video. And if you are new, hit that subscribe button, particularly if you enjoy Diablo 3. There will be many more videos coming in the future. Now, I've got a few disclaimers before we get going. First one is that people obviously like playing new builds, so there are some strong builds that I would have expected in this top 10 clear list that aren't surfacing, and that might be because players are drawn to what is the latest and greatest, newest thing to try. Second, I have been through both the EU and the US servers when doing this. I did spend about an hour and a half going through it, so I haven't looked at every individual build. A little bit more on that later. And thirdly, there is one more disclaimer which kind of links to that second one that I said, and I'll tell you that after I've gone through the list, because otherwise it's going to spoil it for you. I want there to be a little bit of surprise as to what's going to be the top build. But with that in mind, let's jump in. So kicking us off in 10th place, it is the Barbarian with a Raykor Hota. This is cleared at 118, and in the description there is a link to Riker's video, which is playing at the moment. It was from last season, but Raykor hasn't changed, so the build still works, still functions exactly as in the video, and yeah, it's been the strongest Barb build for quite a while, so probably no great surprise. I was kind of hoping something could surface for Lon for Barb, but it doesn't look like it is, and this is as far as the Barb goes at the moment, 118 with Raykor. Now, next up in 9th place, also with 118 but slightly quicker, we have the Shadow Impaled Demon Hunter. Now, I'm going to link you to a Bloodshed guide for that one, because there are a couple of variants on running this particular build, and a couple of choices that you do have whilst going for it. It's the starting set for the Demon Hunter for Season 17, so if you are coming to the season late, this is an excellent choice to start. Really quick start for the Demon Hunter, and the build is very easy to gear for and quite straightforward to play. It's quite a good one. So if you're interested, check out Bloodshed's video, and we'll move on to 8th place. And this actually goes to another starting set for Season 17, which is the Invoker. So in 8th place with a 119 clear, we have the Invoker Thorns Crusader. Again, this is another video that's been covered by Riker. He's done a really good build video this season, so I will link that in the description, and you're seeing it on screen now, so go check that out if you're interested. Again, if you come into the season late, Invokers is another great choice. We move to 7th and we get on to the fun stuff, because that's the Necro. I'm a Necro fanboy, definitely my favourite class. And in 7th we have the Legacy of Nightmares Mage's Singularity build, which is currently cleared a 119. Now, I'm going to link you to Big Daddy Den's video of it. He's probably done about as good a job as anybody I've seen explain the LON Singularity Push build. That's the build I'm currently using. It is a little bit squishy for my liking. I would like it to be a bit tougher, but it's Necro, so it is what it is. I'll also, as a bonus, link you to Lord Fluffy's LON Singularity Speed build. That again is what I'm playing at the moment to do my GR speeds, and it is a lot of fun, and Necro is pretty good. But let's move on to 6th. And here we have the LON Captain America Blessed Shield Crusader. I'm really pleased this build's doing well. Obviously I'm a massive Marvel fanboy, so it is quite nice to have a Captain America build whilst we do have Endgame at the theatres. That's pretty nice. This is cleared at 119, so it is pretty strong. Again, Riker's footage is in the background and he's done another really good job with this build video, so go check that out. Now in 5th place we have Legacy of Nightmares Wave of Light. Now Wave of Light seems to have been top dog for Monk for as long as I can remember now. It's been top of the charts for so long, and this season's no different, but you're going to be running it on the Legacy of Nightmares version. Again, it's another Riker video, another really good build guide from him, so go check it out if you're interested in playing that. Maybe something will come along that will climb past this, but I really can't see it, and I do think this will probably be the top Monk build by the end of the season. But I'm frequently wrong, so you never know. And sneaking into the top 4 is the Witch Doctor with a 123 clear, and this is on the LON Dagger of Darts Witch Doctor. Now I'll link you to Big Daddy Den's guide, which is playing in the background. He's pretty much the top Witch Doctor player about in terms of content on YouTube. It's a good build, really strong, a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm quite pleased that this has made it in. Witch Doctor, I've got a soft spot for it. It's probably my first class that I played seriously, so I do quite like that. So 4th place for the Witch Doctor. Just pipped in 3rd by the best Demon Hunter build currently, which is the Legacy of Nightmares Rapid Fire. Now I'm going to link you to Bloodshed for this one. He's done a pretty nice punchy guide in terms of how to run the build and what it is that you need, and he's got all the usual D3 planner links and stuff. So again, really pleased with this. It is a bit of a surprise. I don't think many people thought that this would be in 3rd place a couple of weekends or 3 weekends into the season. But I suppose part of that is we didn't really get much time to play with this on the PTR. It was only up for, I think, 3 or 4 days, the second round of PTR. So, you know, it has come as a bit of a surprise. I think that's quite nice. I'm not sure how far the build can go, but 1, 2, 3 is obviously pretty good clear considering the limited time we've had in Season 17 so far. Now, if you've kept your finger on the pulse at all for Diablo 3, you've probably got a good indication as to which 2 builds are going to be the next, you know, which are going to be the top 2. You might not necessarily know which way round they go, but 2nd place, it's going to be the Necro, and this is with the LON Thorns Necromancer. Now, I'll link you to Big Daddy Den. He's one of the few people who I've actually seen go through the Thorns build with a bit of detail. I'll be honest, guys, this isn't the most fun thing in the world to play. It's quite clunky. It involves an awful lot of fishing to get the mechanics to work correctly. You can run a lesser effective version of it that is a bit more fun, but to be honest, if you're looking to get to the level that it has, GR 129, well, you're going to have to run it as it is. It's really strong. As I say, it's just not that much fun, which is a bit of a shame, but it's still a really high clear for Necro, so I'm going to be quite pleased with that. So the best build, number 1, top dog, top dollar. This is probably unsurprisingly by now the Veer Chantoto Wizard. Now this has cleared 130 in the season already, which is absolutely staggering. It's a set, it's not the starting set for Wizard, but it's not the hardest thing to get your hands on the gear pieces, and it is absolutely amazing. 130 is phenomenal. I'm going to link you to Bloodshed's guide in terms of how to run the build. Now I've got a sneak suspicion that the LON Thorns Necro will creep past Veers at the end. I do think that will be the top build at the end, but again, that's just an opinion and it's a bit of speculation. I did say I've got a disclaimer, so I'll get to that now. Now, I looked at the top 150 Wizard clears on the EU board. They were all Veers. I looked at the bottom 50. They were all Veers. I picked 50 at random in the middle. They were all Veers. I looked at the US top 50. It was all Veers. What I'm getting at, guys, is I haven't been through all 2,000 Wizard clears on the EU and US servers, so it is perfectly possible that somebody is running LON Meteor, which I would expect to be in this list, and I've just missed it because I haven't gone through all of them. So if you are that player, I apologise profusely to you. Please comment, I'll pin it, and then maybe get it in the description as well, and then people can find out where it is that that build is up to. But I would expect it's in there, but I think it's just getting buried by Veers. Now, it's one of those things, Veers is just so OP, it's kind of drowning everything else for Wizard, so I'm not sure that's good for the game. It's pretty fun at the moment, but I'm not sure it's particularly that good thing. I do like build diversity. But, you know, you're going to get it creeped in with every class. Necro's the same. Mages is pretty much drowning everything on the leaderboard. Same for Dagger of Darts. It's just always been thus. The top builds are the top builds, I suppose. So let's move on to hardcore. Now, I don't really want the video to be terribly repetitive, and I don't really want to go through things in quite as much detail. So I will just simply go through the list and we'll link the videos as I say in the description. So the top 10 for hardcore are as follows. 10th place is Reikor Hota with a 112. That's pretty good for hardcore. Again, it's the best bard build, so no great surprises there. Number 9, LON Blessed Shield with a 114. This is probably a little bit lower than I might have thought. I would have thought that might have gone a bit higher than that so far, but still pretty strong build. In 8th place, you've got the Demon Hunter Shadow and Pale build. No surprises there, it's a pretty tough build, and it's the starting set, so people are obviously going to be pretty comfortable with it. In 7th place, we've got the LON Singularity Mages. That's only pushed to 116 on the hardcore. Again, it's probably quite a hard build to run for Necro. It is pretty squishy, so hats off and kudos to anybody playing that at over 100 without dying repeatedly, or certainly with the risk of it. Again, 116 but slightly quicker. In 6th place, we have the Legacy of Nightmares Dagger of Darts build. For 5th, we've got another Legacy of Nightmares one. This is the Wave of Light Monk. So 117 LON Wave of Light, that's pretty good. For 4th, now this has moved up quite a bit from the core list. This is the Thorns Invoker. That's cleared at 118. This has always been a particularly good build for hardcore, and obviously it's doing pretty well this season. 118 also is the same clear as number 3, which is the LON Rapid Fire. This has just done the 118 just a little bit quicker than the Evoker. So again, really strong build for the Demon Hunter. So I would check out the Legacy of Nightmares Rapid Fire if you get the chance. And then the top 2 are exactly the same as they were on the core board. So number 2 is the Legacy of Nightmares Thorns Necromancer with a clear of 120. And then way out in front, you've got Veers with a 126. So, 6 GRs higher. Now, the LON Thorns Necro might catch it. It might get there, but that's a pretty big gap to close so far. So that's the hardcore list. Top 3 exactly the same, and Invoker's moved up quite a bit. So it's pretty interesting. But guys, that's it. I hope you liked the video. A thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. Comment below with your highest clear of the season so far, and subscribe for some more filthy videos. I'll catch you in the next one. I've been the Filthy Casual. Peace.